How's the vacation going?
Going great. I was from like 6 a.m. this morning to like 1 p.m. or so. I was sea fishing and I caught a northern Atlantic shark, which was only like a bit over like 3 feet long. And I was like so bummed when I caught it because I was so sure that that wasn't something you could keep and eat. But then the guide guy who you pay to take out there on his boat was like, "Oh, these are good eating. You know, you make like shark nuggets out of it." And so I was immediately satisfied because the only thing I want out of fishing, whether it's like at my grandparents' farm and I'm catching catfish or perch or out on the ocean, is I need to be able to eat it. I absolutely despise catch and release fishing. It's just not fun. There's no payoff. It's like you take a photo and that's it.
I like the adrenaline rush of like when they grab the line and like hooking them and reeling them in and like trying not to lose it. To me, that's the fun.
Oh, I was reeling it in for a while, and there was a time where in my head I was like, I'm starting, like my forearms are burning and I'm starting to get pretty tired. Like you're just cranking that rod and reel, and I was like, but I can't stop right now. It's so close, and everybody on the boat is gonna think I'm gay if I like, switch arms.
Is there a real man who can help?
Like gay Liz. And I was like, no.
How did once you got the shark in? How did you dispatch it? Do you just whomp him on the head with a bat?
I pulled it up to the boat, and then the guide guy used a giant hook. And he went whack, and he smacked the thing on the side and yanked it up onto the boat. He missed the first time, and I guess he just like glanced him, and he was like, "These things, they're, you know, even the little sharks, their hide is tough, so you really got to punch him in there to bring him up." Like he didn't do this with any of the other fish; it was only the sharks he did this with. And then he hooked the shark and brought it up, and then he told me where to grab it while it was flopping on the ground, and so I just kind of grabbed it in that area and lifted it up, and then it was still alive. But he told me just toss it in the freezer. And so I guess it died in the freezer.
What if it's...
Well, I know it died in the freezer. It was rough. It was like, you know, where you go the wrong way on a snake?
Yep.
That kind of thing, where it's not quite like a snake, like not big scales, but you could feel that roughness. Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully we're planning to cook those up because I caught one. Someone else caught a similarly sized shark. And then... another third person we were with caught some like fish that had the same back as a sturgeon, but I guess it wasn't called that. I'm blanking on what he referred to it as. And the guide was like, "All right, you got that one? I can tell just looking at it, that's not 36 inches, but we're out at sea. You want me to fillet this real quick?" Because it wasn't legal, and then I guess
I ain't see no cops around.
The guy who caught it was more of an angler than the rest of us because he was like, no, we'll just stay legal, we're fine. And I wanted to be like, come on, dude, I want to fucking eat this.
Fishing game, you're in trouble now, mister. How about this whole ride how about our activities today have been free and I don't haul you into fishing game prison?
How about they've been free and I also get this 33-inch fish instead of this 36-inch fish? But yeah, it was a good time. I think I'm more sunburned now than I've been since I was like 10, like running around in the sea, which is probably a good thing. Give me some color.
Sunscreen on.
I just lose track of time. I'm having a good time out there.
So do you put it on at all?
Yeah. I spray it on and then I rub the spray in all over myself.
You literally have to put it on 3 times, and that's where I fuck up. Is I'll put it on and then I don't end up putting it on like again and again. I'll be outside for like 5 hours. Last couple of days has been super hot, and I just totally burnt my shoulders to shit.
That's how I get fucked too.
Rubbing lotion all over my body. Come on, dude. Because what?
I'm so careful to put it on like at first, and then you like swim in the ocean, you do something, you're sweating. And it's like 5 hours later, I'm like, man, my cheeks feel hot. Fuck. Like it's already too
You're also
late.
like a super white guy, you know, like lighter hair. Like you're begging to get smoked by the sun.
Oh, I've got that Accutane skin just waiting to be burned.
You should be out there looking like Marlon Brando in The Island of Dr. Moreau. That's a deep cut. Nobody gets that reference.
No, I do. He had that. He had that.
I'm
suit
aware
on
of it. I
day
just
out of
didn't
the
think I
sun.
had anything to comment on there. Yeah, like that.
It's really trippy to me that sharks are older than trees.
Yeah.
Like sharks.
I hate that. I don't.
I
like
know
believing that.
the fact that me too. Let's not believe it, but talk about it like it's true for a second.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, sharks being on the planet for 400 million years, like existing for 50 million years before trees do, is just my concept of what the fuck was going on this planet and the timeline is so messed up.
It just doesn't make sense. It's like, how could something exist before a tree? And it really just puts into perspective that timeline.
The thing about us is like, I feel like it really puts into perspective, and I read this in a book, but it's true, just where we were on the food chain and to now, like you're pulling a shark out of the water and punching it in the face. Like, they're like sharks down there, like, you know, their eyes looking fucking left and right and not straight, being like, who the fuck are these guys? We're like on fucking jet skis with fucking
Dude, there was a boat near us. It was the only boat near us because the guide was like, hey, my buddy has a boat out here and he says it's a pretty good spot right now, we're gonna head there. I watched like this probably 13-year-old kid, he hooked a hammerhead, which like even if you reel it in, you can't do anything with it. I guess they're protected, like you can't eat it or anything. But he fought a hammerhead for like 40 minutes, and at some point I just wanted to like yell over to it was too far away to yell, but it was like, just like what's the point? Like, what you're just
What are you
torturing an animal who's eventually going to be let loose and be like, oh my god, that was hellish, and then go back to eating stuff.
Sharks, like, sharks never even had to evolve to have a thought. So like, there's like no thought when it. I feel like a shark is just the most instinct
Simple,
brain.
rudimentary.
Yeah, just like a fucking a bug, way less than a bug. Like it must be 400 million years top of the food chain, just existing out there on instinct. You never ever had to ever develop any sort of anything. So when that wrestling him for 45 minutes, that shark's just probably like, hey, like there's no concept of just knowing that it's bad what's happening and pushing against it for 45 minutes. And also the time for that shark must have felt like a decade, like of that experience.
Weren't like great whites
did you go, Taylor?
pretty much? I don't know how many miles, but it took us an hour and a half to get out to where we were.
Oh, this counts as deep sea fishing.
Yeah, I'd say
That's sick. How long were you out there for? Did you say that already?
3-hour tour.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it started as a 3-hour tour.
We headed out at 7 a.m. and we got back around like I want to say 1:30, and so we were out there at the furthest extent for hours and hours. And I only reapplied sunscreen once, and I didn't put any on my legs at all ever. That was a mistake.
Were you tempted to go swimming?
Inburn fucking suck.
Were you tempted to go swimming?
No, I'm not like you, Woody. I'm scared of the ocean. I'm scared of the sea. Someone talked to the guy at one point. We were like going over a more shallow area, and the guy's like, "It's only like 33 feet deep in this little area we're at." Like, because it was really deep, and then we went over, I guess, some sand area where it wasn't as deep. And he's like, "You could swim here," and I'm like, "Yeah, if you're fucking psychotic, there's a bunch of scary nonsense."
I love swim at 3,000 feet. What's the difference?
I love the ocean, but I don't ever really want to go in it. Like when I go to it, I never want to go in it. I like to be on the beach, but I just don't really like to go in the water.
I'm so scared of it. I'm so scared of
that
giant, terrifying ocean. I saw where like those, what do you call them? The ships that have the big Connex boxes on them from China. Like one of those big barges, container ships. They had some rite of passage for like the crew. Like when it's your first time out, they stop out in the middle of the Pacific and everybody gets out for a swim. Like and they stop at a point that's supposedly like extra deep, Like they stop over the Marianas Trench or some shit, and everybody gets out and they're like, below you is 6 miles of death.